The Kansas City Chiefs just got a great unexpected update on cornerback Jaylen Watson. You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy. I'm a local Kansas City-based content creator who covers this Chiefs team on a daily basis. And the best way you guys can show support is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing for more daily Chiefs coverage. With all that being said, let's hop into the blockbuster report we got this morning from Jordan Schultz on Twitter. You can find him at Schultz Report, saying the Chiefs are designating cornerback Jaylen Watson to return from IR, and he will practice today, sources tell NFL on Fox. This is a huge boost for Kansas City, who has been without Watson since late October due to a broken fibula. Now, if you guys remember, Jaylen Watson suffered that injury against the 49ers, and he's been out since then. And a lot of fans, including myself, thought that Jaylen Watson was likely going to miss the remainder of the season with that injury. But we've kind of seen over the past couple of days, Jaylen Watson has been posting to his Instagram clips of him coming back. The first clip was him just running in a straight line, getting some sprints in. And I was kind of like, okay, it's good to see him back. But until he's, backpedaling and cutting, I'm not going to take a Jaylen Watson return super seriously. Until we see him make cuts, what a cornerback does on a consistent basis, I'm not going to say there's any shot that he actually comes back to play. Now, we did see him post again to his Instagram, him backpedaling, him making cuts. And so I was like, oh my gosh, we might actually have something with Jaylen Watson. The Chiefs opened his 21-day practice window, which means that, he's going to be able to come back to practice, and the Chiefs can reevaluate after this and decide if he will be good to go. But the thought process from the Chiefs is that Jaylen Watson will probably be good to go for the playoffs, barring any major setbacks. And he did return to practice today. And we do have this clip that I want to show you guys because it's just so exciting. So Jaylen Watson is back at practice. Now, it's going to take him a couple of days, I think, to kind of get back in the rhythm of things. And it might take him longer, to feel okay with that fibula injury. But it is just so exciting to see the Chiefs get back someone like Jaylen Watson, who before he got hurt, you could argue was the third best defensive player on this team. He was that good. And so his loss, it really hurt this secondary. You saw them try to supplement it with, Najee Johnson, Chris Roland Wallace, Jamari Connor, none of which were as good as Jaylen Watson. And so I don't think that we can, overstate the importance of having Jaylen Watson back on this team in time for the playoffs. Now, I will say, at first when I saw this news, I was over the moon excited. I was like, oh my gosh, the Chiefs just got the best piece of injury news we could possibly see. But I don't think that we should be over the moon about this news quite yet, because it is possible that the Chiefs opening his practice window for him to return doesn't mean that he is actually going to return, that first game in the playoffs. It would be nice to see him return if he can continue making strides in practice. And Andy Reid actually said that he looked good today in practice, like he did well. But there's no guarantee that the Chiefs are going to, activate him for this game. He is not, technically speaking, on the final 53-man roster. He's elevated from IR, but his practice window is open. So he's practicing with the team, but he's not on the final 53 right now. And so I think that depending on how he's feeling, depending on how he progresses in practice, will really tell the tale on if he's going to return for the playoffs. But the expectation is that at the latest, he should be back by the AFC Championship game, or if he can get that far, the Super Bowl. But the fact that we are talking about a Jaylen Watson return after all the speculation, after all of the rumors, it is just such a refreshing thing that we finally have some encouraging news, some good updates to share, because, it seemed like Jaylen Watson had been hinting about coming back all along. But, he's said a lot of stuff on social media, so you couldn't really take it all, super seriously. but you saw him making cuts. You saw him backpedaling. You saw him running sprints. And while that is very different than covering a number one wide receiver or covering a number two wide receiver, he is at least getting himself there physically. And I think that's really the best situation you could ask for if you're a Chiefs fan, that there's a shot. There's an opportunity you are going to get your number two cornerback back at the perfect time. I mean, guys, the script writers could not write it any better than this. And the Chiefs have an opportunity to get back a star in this defense at the perfect time. And so, Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section below. What do you think about this news? Do you think that Jaylen Watson is going to play at some point this season? Because again, even though he is back at practice, even though the Chiefs have opened his 21-day practice window, that's not a guarantee that he will be ready come playoff time. Andy Reid might say, you know what? It's good that you're back. It's good that we can see you practice, but Jaylen, we don't think that you're ready yet. We don't think that you are healthy enough to go out there and compete at that position. We're going to have to just not elevate you, and you're going to have to finish out this season, not on the roster. But I kind of have a hard time feeling that if he doesn't continue practicing every day and he doesn't suffer any more setbacks or significant injuries or tweaking of that injury, he should be good to go. Jaylen Watson should be good to go come playoff time as long as he can continue to make great strides in his development. But before we go any further, guys, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this channel all football season long. Welcome to the Rice Real Estate Group, Kansas City's premier partner in real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, you will receive a tailored experience designed just for you. Specializing in residential, commercial, and investment properties, the dedicated team over at the Rice Real Estate Group helps guide you through every transaction, including navigating those short, complex sales. With a commitment to personal one-on-one service, they will ensure that you are supported every step of the way. You can achieve your goals with expertise, care, and a customized approach that truly makes a difference. Ready to make your next move? The Rice Real Estate Group is here to make it happen. For more information, call 816-819-9333. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and a new ESPN Bet Sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow them on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Huge shout out to the sponsors that support this channel all football season long. But getting back into the Jaylen Watson news, I think that another reason why we should all be so optimistic about him returning is that he has been pushing for this all along. The goal for Jaylen Watson has been to return at some point this season. And listen, Mitch Holthus at one point teased the return, saying that, don't count him out. He's been saying don't count him out all season on Twitter. And so I feel like there is a really good shot that he can come back at some point in the playoffs. I'm not saying it's going to be the divisional round. I'm not saying it's going to be the AFC Championship game if the Chiefs can get that far. I just think that if the Chiefs continue winning, they're going to have a shot to get him back. And it also helps that you get 2 weeks off. Having Jaylen Watson come back at this time, when you secured the number 1 seed, you got that playoff bye, he doesn't have to play this next week in the first round of the playoffs. Like that's a big thing for his recovery, because if you had to put him out there next week, I'm not sure if he's ready. But if you give him 2 weeks in practice, that should be a pretty good sample size of whether or not he is good to go. And listen, I trust this coaching staff. I trust Andy Reid. I trust Steve Spagnuolo. I trust defensive backs coach Dave Merritt. These guys are not going to put Jaylen Watson out there if he's going to struggle. They're not going to put him out there if they don't think he's ready. But guys, I don't think we're going to be in that position. I think that Jaylen Watson is probably going to be ready and good to go. And it feels like our prayers got answered. It feels like the Chiefs had that lucky bounce, had the ball go in their favor, had this injury, sure up at the perfect time, and they're going to hopefully get Jaylen Watson back for the playoffs. And guess what, guys? He didn't play against Buffalo. He didn't play against Buffalo, and it's going to be a good thing to see him back if he does return. And no one else really has tape on him, for the last 10 weeks. And that's an exciting thing if you are a Chiefs fan. So Chiefs Kingdom, again, the Chiefs have, opened up Jaylen Watson's 21-day practice window. He returned to practice. You know what? I just want to show it again. I'm going to show Jaylen Watson at practice because I just love it. So again, Jaylen Watson back at practice. He's on track to return for the playoffs as long as he doesn't suffer any massive setbacks. I don't anticipate that at any point in time, but stuff happens with injuries, so we can't officially count him in for being back for the postseason quite yet. But if I'm a betting man, if I'm going to put my bets down at the Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway, I'm betting that Jaylen Watson will be back and good to go for the postseason, which is an exciting thing if you are a part of the Chiefs Kingdom. So Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more of the best daily Chiefs content on YouTube. I have been giving you guys content each and every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And the best way you guys can show support is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing for more daily Chiefs coverage. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.